Welcome once more, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of AskOkey. Today we continue along our wardrobe series. However, before we get into it, let's take a few steps back and talk about the genesis of this wardrobe series. A few videos ago, we presented our wardrobe tool aptly named Genie. We went through its features and its functions. And in the same video, I encouraged you all to sign up for an account on AskOkey portal, www.askokey.com, to check out the tool. Subsequently, we went into the wardrobe series, and in the Genie video, we explained that the purpose of this tool, Genie, is a software-driven tool aimed at helping you to construct your wardrobe from the ground up. And so we proceeded with a series of videos starting with your suit. And then we visited sport coats. And then today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. Not focusing on any specific category, but talking about the whole, the entirety. And the title of the video is How to Put Together a Beginner's Wardrobe. Now, let me say that this is purely a hypothetical exercise. In other words, not meant to be copied verbatim. It's just an expression of how one might approach putting together a capsule beginner's wardrobe. Now, I've laid out on the right what I think is a capsule wardrobe. A very tightly curated wardrobe, certainly not exhaustive. My wardrobe is larger than this, as I am sure most of yours. However, the aim of this session or segment is to look at some key elements in a wardrobe and think, if I were to put together a wardrobe, what are the foundational items that are worth spending money and resources and time on as a building block, as the foundation of your wardrobe. Similar with shoes, we've also put together an array of footwear, which I consider to be the building block or the foundation of one's footwear wardrobe. So without further ado, we're just going to step right into it. We'll start from the extreme corner and work our way all the way to the end, talk about the clothes, and then come back and look at footwear. Thank you, and let's get started. So here, I've arranged it in a sequence, starting with coats, outerwear, to suits, and then sport jackets, casual jackets, and then trousers, of course. So we're going to start from the extreme left and talk about outerwear or coats. Now, what do we have here? We have on a Raglan coat, a gray Raglan coat. I'm going to put it up here. Now, some may choose to start their wardrobe journey, their coat journey, with a dress coat, a structured dress coat, meaning a double-breasted coat or a single-breasted coat, a proper structured dress coat. And that would be absolutely correct. But a Raglan coat is a little bit more versatile, in my opinion. It's a bit casual, yet can be dressed up. It has soft shoulders, which is why it's called a Raglan coat. It doesn't have any structure to it or shoulder padding. It can be worn under a structured coat or structured suit or jacket, and the jacket lends it some structure. It can also be dressed down with a roll neck or a jumper and still look very elegant. And so if one were left with the choice of picking a universal coat, I would say the Raglan coat fits that bill over a typical structured dress coat. So that's your Raglan coat. Gray is a great color to start with. It is very universal. This is done in a twill. Some may prefer it in a herringbone, something with a bit more interest to it, but twill also has a nice interest to it. Gray is a nice neutral color for coats. Gray or navy for starters. But I like gray because it just, in my view, is a lot more versatile than navy. So there we have it. It's a Raglan coat, very simple, 3-button, very elegant. This one is made, I believe, entirely of cashmere. But of course, you could source it in wool or, vicuna or camel, whatever floats your boat. But this particular one is done in cashmere. So that's it for your Raglan coat. The next would be a raincoat. This is as classic as it gets, a double-breasted raincoat, or Macintosh, some would say. Belted, of course. This is as classic as it gets. It brings to me memories of Inspector Clouseau, for those of you who watched the comic character, the French comic character, years ago when I was a very young man. But this is as classic as it gets, and it can be dressed up, it can be dressed down, it's functional. When you have precipitation, it's something that would be appropriate to wear and pairs very nicely with your second coat, with your wool coat as a second coat. So there you have it. It's a Macintosh raincoat, can be dressed up very elegantly. So that's it for your coat. There are, of course, many variations to coats, and I know people who have a wardrobe full of 10, 15 coats. However, we're talking about the basics here. So those are our 2 coats we're going to go with. Now, we're going to get into the meat of it, the tailored wardrobe. So we start with the suits. We talked about the suit series, or when we had the suit series, we talked about the sequence of building your suit wardrobe. And of course, like many, I did advocate going with a navy suit for starters. Your standard navy worsted suit. This is, again, a very simple, classic navy suit, very dark navy, 13-ounce wool by Henry Lesser & Sons, drapes like a dream, and very durable, extremely durable, wears very nicely. And that should be your number 1 suit. The second suit is going to be a medium gray suit. 2-button as well. I'll button this up. A medium gray suit. Again, very simple and classic. No frills. Nothing flamboyant about, just a very classic 2-button suit in gray. That's your second item. And with these 2 suits, I believe, for starters, for a beginner, I think you should be fine for most business stroke formal. When I say formal, I mean business. I don't mean formal as in morning wear or evening wear. But in terms of formality, this is as good as it gets. A deep navy suit and a medium gray single-breasted suit. So that's it for your suits. Now, we move to sport jackets. Again, during the segment on sport jackets, and also the video we did called or titled A Winning Combination, we looked at different jackets or sport jackets and how one ought to go about building their sport jacket wardrobe, and what sport jackets offer the most utility and versatility. And of course, the navy blazer came out tops. No surprise there. So, of course, it ranks number 1 in our capsule wardrobe. Simple navy blazer. I've had these done with brass buttons. You may or may not opt for brass buttons. You may choose to go with horn or mother of pearl or bone, whatever else suits your fancy. But this is a classic, just a very classic 3-button navy blazer done in mock lino. a high twist open weave fabric, just the standard. You can't miss with this. So again, that's your number one sport coat when it comes to your sport coat wardrobe. The second, as I did advocate as well in the sport coat video, is a brown-based tweed jacket. And here I've selected this number. It's a beautiful brown tweed with checks in it. From a distance, it appears as a solid brown, of course. From a distance, it appears as a solid brown, but on closer inspection, you see the beautiful, beautiful threads running, color threads running through it. So that's your second. Now, if I were to do it all over again, I'd probably go for something like a herringbone. Like a herringbone, like a brown herringbone, like a dark-ish brown herringbone jacket. However, I can't do it all over again, so I'm going to have to leave that project for another time. But I do have a length of cloth over there, a beautiful brown herringbone, which will be converted at some point in the future into a jacket. But for now, here we have a nice, lovely brown tweed as your second sport jacket. We continue. Now we're done with the tailored jackets. Now we turn to casual jackets, or your more casual tops. And the first candidate, in my view, is a field jacket. This is a simple cotton field jacket. Just a very simple cotton field jacket. 4 pockets, pleated. Some might like them with bellow pockets. If you go hunting and you need sufficient room for your cartridges, you might go for bellow pockets, but I'm indifferent. So 4 pockets, extremely versatile, utility-wise tops, because you can carry things in it. It's casual, yet it can be worn with dress trousers. It can be dressed up or dressed slightly up or dressed down. So there you have it. Cotton field jacket. It's a cotton field jacket. It comes in, of course, different fabrics and materials. Some like to do it in leather. Even in the summer, you can even sort of have a linen version of it, and so on and so forth. But your standard field jacket with 4 pockets, epaulets, and a single basic button cuff is the first casual jacket, in my view, that one ought to procure. We continue. Now we get a little bit more fancy. Here you could actually stop and be fine in terms of casual wear if you were looking truly for a capsule wardrobe, just to build a capsule wardrobe. You could stop here and you'll be fine. However, as I've discovered, and many of you will, once you get onto this treadmill, this classic dress treadmill, it just goes faster and faster and faster. And so we're going to expand our imagination just a little bit here and look at all the things that complement the wardrobe and allow us to dress down casually yet elegantly. And number one there is going to be this lovely suede blouson. It's just a beautiful number. Beautiful suede blouson. Just a close up here. It's a suede blouson. Can be dressed up very nicely. Can be worn casually with denim. Can be worn with our AskOkey classic trousers. But they're just very elegant, very subtle, but makes a statement, which is really what you want. You don't want it over the top. You want something that stands out, yet in a very, very subliminal manner. So there you have it. It's a beautiful suede jacket. I'm going to twist this here. Just button it up for a little bit. There you go. 3 buttons. So there you have it. That's your suede jacket. I love this. It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece that adds a bit of pop to your casual wardrobe. The last of the casual jackets that I've selected or curated here, this is by no means exhaustive, as I said earlier on in this presentation. But what I've tried to do is to, within the boundaries of this particular hanger, to curate what I thought would be a tight collection of a beginner's wardrobe. So the last item here is going to be very casual, and it's a denim type 3 jacket. It's a beautiful denim type 3 jacket. This is just as classic as it gets. Again, a closer look here. It's as classic as it gets. This can be worn with your dress trousers. It's cut very short, and so it just goes so well with your high-rise AskOkey trousers. Something like this can even be worn with classic trousers, and it looks just great. So that's your type 3 denim jacket. This is done, I believe, in Japanese denim, raw denim, and so it wears and breaks in over time, molds to your particular structure, and then the fade comes over time naturally. And this is a very versatile piece that I find myself wearing very frequently, usually when I travel or when when the weather is slightly warmer and you're out for just a coffee. This is just a beautiful, very versatile number. Can be worn with khakis, can be worn with lighter colored jeans, and so on and so forth. So that's the last item when it comes to the coats or the jackets. Now, we're going to look at the trousers, which we've done a session on trousers, of course, in the past. We've done a session on trousers before. So what I've done again is curate a number of AskOkey trousers. Of course, we have any number of them in several fabrics and colors and so on and so forth. Of course, we make them. But what I've done is just select, again, curate a very, very tight selection of a few colors and fabrics, so that were someone to begin building their wardrobe, perhaps this would be a good guide as to how they should approach building their AskOkey trouser wardrobe. So without further ado, let's get into the trousers. I'm going to put these up here. And last, and certainly not the least. Now, I put them up here so we can have a much better view. So starting from the left, what I've done, the way I've arranged it is that I've picked 2 cool weather trousers and 2 summer trousers. Again, 2 cool weather trousers and 2 summer trousers in very fundamental colors and fabrics. They may not be exciting, if that's the right word for it, but these are colors and fabrics that will go with literally anything in your wardrobe, beginning from sport jackets to your jumpers, to your roll necks, and even casual tops. So we start from the far left. What we have here is a darkish gray, not quite charcoal, but dark gray cavalry twill AskOkey trousers. Done, of course, in a traditional full cut, a signature buckle, high rise, and that's just a beautiful number that goes with literally any sport coat, a sort of a mid to dark gray cavalry twill pair of AskOkey trousers. Goes with any sport coat you throw at it, like bar none, absolutely, goes with everything. Its summer counterpart is going to be a high twist. That's the summer counterpart of this. It's slightly lighter, again, medium gray, but slightly lighter. Again, AskOkey traditional cut, full cut, dress trousers. Beautiful. That, I believe, is from Dugdale's. It's cavalry twill from Dugdale's, and that's about 14 ounces, I believe, if I recall. It's about 14, 15 ounces. This is about 13 ounce. It's about 12, 13 ounce high twist. So again, your summer counterpart of the gray trouser. Now, for something a bit more casual in the cooler weather, we're going to move slightly in a different color direction. And for that, what do we have? We have this beautiful flat front AskOkey cavalry twill trousers in tan. This is as traditional as it gets when you talk about cavalry twill. The history, of course, and I'm not going to delve into the history, but it does have a military background or regimental background. And these cavalry trousers were worn by regiments back in the day, British regiments, I believe. And then it started as military uniform or regalia, and it's been adopted into civilian wear. But they're very tough, very robust, absolutely indestructible. This particular number, I believe, is from Dugdale Brothers. It's about 20 ounces. This is a heavier version. I do have the 14, 15 ounce version, or we do carry them. But this particular one is the 20 ounce version, which is really, it drapes like a window blind. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And so that's your casual equivalent for your fall wardrobe of a beginner trouser. There you have it. Now, in terms of something a bit more casual as well, it's not quite tan, but it's a very light shade of gray, and I love this. I love this because it's very, very versatile. It's sort of a pearl stroke, a dove gray. Again, AskOkey trousers here, cut full. This can be worn with a simple t-shirt during the summer. It can be worn with a short sleeve t-shirt, long sleeve polo, a linen top, a guayabara, or am I saying it right, guayabera. It can be worn with literally anything. It's just such a beautiful and versatile color, and that's why I've included it in our collection. That's 4. And then last but not the least is your linen AskOkey drawstring trousers. These are for the days you want to just hang out on the beach and just relax and chill, or kick back at home and sit in the backyard and, pop a bottle of something with a cigar and just relax with your slippers or loafers. Again, just sort of very beautiful, relaxed, cut very full through the leg, very comfortable. We put a lot of thought into designing this piece. So I thought it was worthy of mention in our small or limited collection here. So that's it for the tailored clothing and the casual clothing. And before we close out, of course, we want to talk about footwear. Now, I want to say that this is, again, a part of many series to come. So this presentation is by no means exhaustive, and we're just sort of taking it one item or one category at a time. So let's get into footwear. Now, since we began from the formal end of things, starting with a dress coat and a navy suit, it seems apt that for our footwear, we ought to start as well from the formal spectrum, or from the other end of the formal spectrum, which suggests that we start with our sine qua non, or sine qua non. Not sure if I'm saying it right. I'm not French. Your black Oxford cap toes. Black Oxford cap toes. You cannot go wrong with this, right? These are as old as the hills, and they've survived the test of time, and to this day, they are just incomparable when it comes to staple wardrobe items. So these are black Oxfords. I've had these made with a punch cap, just to give it a little bit of, excitement, because black Oxfords, cap to Oxfords, can seem quite dull if you pick the wrong last. They can seem just very dull and blobby. But what we've done here is that we've gone with St. Crispin's, Philip Carr. If you're watching this, he makes all my shoes. These are a pair of St. Crispin shoes in black calf and with a punch cap. So these are my standard go-to suit shoes. The second, something very similar. Dark brown Oxfords, similarly with a punch cap. However, the difference here is that whereas this is a simple black pair of shoes, with brown, I've gone for a little bit more decoration. So again, this is to be dressed uppish, obviously worn with a suit. Oxfords are to be worn strictly with suits, but it's got some more broguing on the side. If you can see, it's got more broguing on the side, and it's just a little bit more casual. Of course, broguing on a shoe suggests that it's slightly more casual than, say, a plain black pair of Oxfords with just sort of plain stitched quarters. So those are our two most formal shoes, or suit shoes, I would like to say. And again, this is in dark brown, very dark brown espresso. If you're starting out an Oxford wardrobe, I would recommend, highly discourage going with very light brown shoes or tan shoes because they're just not very versatile. They work for a limited number of suits, summer suits in tan or cream and such. But you don't want that to be one of your first pair of Oxford. So we're sticking with black, and we're going with a very, very deep brown espresso pair of Oxford lace-ups. Now we get a bit more casual. Your derbies. Of course, for your sport jackets and your casual trousers, can go wrong with a darkish brown pair of derbies. These are a pair of split toe or Norwegian split toe derbies. Some call them STDs. STD meaning split toe derby. So that you have it. I've had this made in Russian grain. Again, with your casual derbies, you want to have a little bit of texture to express the casualness or the casual nature of the shoe. So there you have it. It's a beautiful pair of brown split toe derbies. Next will be your loafers. Here we have penny loafers. Again, it doesn't get more classic than this. This you can have made in brown, but I've chosen to go here with burgundy because I believe that burgundy offers similarly the same level of versatility as brown. Actually, in my view, slightly more elegant. So here we've gone with burgundy pair of penny loafers. Some might prefer to go with cordovan, which is very popular. Here we've gone with just sort of plain calf, and it's just as simple as they get. Next, when we talk about wearing your cavalry twills and your more robust casual trousers, can go wrong with a pair of mink suede ankle boots or chukka boots. Here again, very simple, made with rubber soles, very comfortable, very rugged, very robust, can be dressed slightly up and can be dressed very down, can be worn with your denim, your corduroys, your cavalry twill trousers, and even with your tweed suits. So there you have it, a pair of chukka boots or ankle boots. And last, but certainly not the least, are your dress boots. These again are standard in a wardrobe. I wouldn't say standard. I might stop here, but again, if you're a fan of boots, right, especially if you live in cold climates, then you can't go wrong with a pair of dress boots. This can be worn with your suits, can be dressed up in the winter, protect your feet and keep them warm, and also are very elegant. They look like shoes from a distance, but they are boots. So there you have a pair of dark brown, I believe these are by Edward Green in day-night sole, very, very rugged, very, very appropriate for the cold weather. So there we have it, 6 pair of shoes. Certainly, most of you might have more than 6 pair. I do own more than 6 pair. However, being forced into a corner to pick a capsule wardrobe, this is where we have arrived. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of yet another segment of AskOkey. I hope you have found this valuable, and I hope you have taken the tenets that we've constructed here about how to go about building your capsule or beginner's wardrobe. And so with that, I say thank you for watching. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram, AskOkey IG, and do check out our portal at www.askokey.com. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next segment. Goodbye.